Hello, everyone, and welcome to another IFN interview. I'm Bruello, and today I'm joined by Jake Cornish. How are you doing, man?
I'm very good, man. I'm very good. Body's a bit tired in a minute in camp, but yeah, I feel good. I feel good.
Amazing, man. And now, so you're coming back to boxing now against Will Anderson on March 7th on the second Misfits dual card. How are you feeling
Yeah,
ahead of this fight?
I feel confident. I feel fit. I feel also right now my body telling me you don't feel fit because I'm just taking a battering, but mentally I'm in a good space. I'm away from distractions. I'm away from home. I'm in a proper camp. I'm training with a British champion, so I've got the right people around me. I'm in a boxing gym 2, 3 times a day. Um, yeah, everything at the minute is all positive, and it's like it is very different to my last fight.
Mhm.
Very, very different headspace, camp, coach, the location, everything's completely changed. So right now, I feel like I'm in a lot better space than what I was in the last one in Dublin.
Amazing, man. And now let's talk about your last fight. So, your last fight was against Mike Edwards in the MFV Cruiserweight tournament back in, I think it was August of 2024 on Misfit
Yeah,
17. Looking back at that fight, what do you take away from it?
a lot to be fair. It was a massive learning curve. Is we got matched up on weight and not height, obviously, because
Mhm.
he's about 6'7" giant, and I ain't 6'7", I'm 5'10", so it's a massive difference. But it's my weight, so I'm like, I'm a stocky lad. I hold a lot of power in my legs. So I learned a lot from that. Experience one, I would say, I never got enough sparring in on the last
Mhm.
camp, so I was a bit unexpected. Didn't really know what was to expect when I was in the ring with Mike. He was an athlete. He was a silver medalist. Been all his life. I was just a lad who was a plumber. I was on a building site. I was on a building site down a pub with the boys. Like I was just a normal lad. Went on Love Island, come about, and then went into the kind of influencer world. So
Yeah.
to me, it was going into a camp was very. I loved it, but it was strange. Like being
Mhm.
strict with this and that. Like I had to say no to my friends from going out with a pint. I couldn't go and have a pint of beer. No, whereas before, but yeah, so it's adapting. Whereas now, I love my boxing. I'm training every day. I enjoy
Mhm.
it, and I think the biggest learning curve was, I would say, for me, it was not sparring enough, and what I got drilled in camp, I didn't take that into the fight. I think it
Mhm.
was like in front of 13,000 people, all the cameras,
Yeah.
a guy who was just massive. Like it was against me as soon as I signed a contract, and I didn't realize how tall he was until I actually seen him in. Funny enough, I seen him in the lift in Dublin. And I was like, "Holy shit, he's massive."
Yeah.
But I'm a bit of a bruiser. I'm a bit of a pit bull, so I'll fight anyone. But unfortunately, obviously, it didn't go my way. It was like I said, I didn't take into the fight what I learned in training. It was just a bit of
Yeah.
a whirlwind, really. But
Of
it
course.
was a massive learning curve, and this time's completely different.
Mhm. And do you feel like this loss changed you in like any way as a fighter?
Yeah, it's made me more aggressive now, more
Mhm.
aggressive. I'm not going to say too much because I don't really want to give anything away at the minute.
Of
'Cause obviously,
course.
got to be careful. But it's made me a lot more aggressive, and I think now I like to stand and learn. I like to learn. Like
Mhm.
boxing's about learning. Like you never realize how technical boxing is until you actually have a fight. Like you can be
Yeah.
good on the pads, you can be good on the bag, but as soon as you start sparring, it's a whole different ball game. Like whole different ball game. And like, the last camp I was sparring two, maybe three people max. I'm sparring that in one session, three people in one session now, and I'm like, it's a completely different mind frame. I've got a coach who's a British champion.
Mhm.
I'm in with a load of boxing lads. It's just a good environment, and yeah, it's made me more aggressive and probably more hungrier than ever. I've been ticking over in the gym,
Yeah.
but it was like as soon as I got the phone call from Mams 2 weeks ago, it was like, right, you want to fight? And I'm like, yes. And then I know it's only a 3 week camp, but
Mhm.
listen, beggars can't be choosers, and
Of course.
as soon as he rings me, mate, I'm fighting. Where I have 1 week, 10 weeks, I'm still gonna fight. So,
Mhm.
yeah, I feel very confident.
Amazing, man. And now, without giving too much away, what specifically have you worked on during this camp to make sure that this version is different?
Um, what have I worked on? Obviously the fundamentals. You sharpen up on your fundamentals. You know your footwork, the basics. I'm not going to stand here and say I'm a pro boxer because
Mhm.
I'm not. I'm not a boxer. I'm not a pro boxer. I'm just someone who's likes to have a fight and and enjoy the experience.
Yeah.
But I think sharpening up the tools, getting fitter. And yeah, I'm not going to say too much, but
Mhm.
yeah, probably just sharpen up what I've had and learning more on top as well. So it's just learning from the best. I'm learning from the best. Like I say, my coach is a British champion, and he's been there, he's done it. So like, whatever he says, I do. It's as simple as that.
Amazing, man. And who have you been training with exactly? Like, who is your coach? And do you also train with like professionals or white collars?
Yeah. So obviously, my coach is Charlie Schofield, he's British champion, ex-British champion from Manchester. So I'm up in Manchester at the moment. I've been in the gym with Campbell Hatton, Ricky Hatton's son, absolute legend. It was an experience to share the ring with Campbell. Like he's good. Like you don't realize there's levels in boxing and like levels, and he's good. So I've been sparring with Campbell, professional. A few other lads down the gym, they're white collars and amateurs.
Mhm.
Obviously, white collar and amateurs are very different. You've got amateurs that are very fast paced. You've got
Yeah,
white collars
true.
that love to have a fight. So, I'm having all different styles. A few other pros. I've had a lot of advice from my friends that are professionals. That are going to come up and see me at the weekend. So I'm in the right area. I'm in the right gyms with the right people. And listen, it might all go out of the door. And as soon as I get in the ring, everything I've learned might just go out the door. Who knows? But at the minute, I'm staying focused and I'm thinking what I'm learning is what I'm going to do.
Of course, man. And now, so both you and also Will are coming off of losses. Do you feel like this is a must-win fight for you?
100%. 100%. Like as soon as I signed with Misfits 2 years ago, it was never a one fight and dump. It was never. I
Mhm.
never wanted to come and have one fight and leave. Like that's why I've always been speaking to Mams. I stayed in touch with Mams, and I said when the opportunity's there, Mams, just reach out to me. So, it's a must win for me. A loss isn't an option for me. It's a must win, and yeah, that's really what I'm thinking about. Is I'm going to go in there and win and come out and get another fight.
Yeah. And do you feel like this time around there's a bit more pressure on you since last time you like lost?
Yeah, I think there's always pressure in boxing. You never want to lose. There's always pressure, no matter what. Even when you go into sparring, there's pressure. I feel pressure off my coach because I wanna show what I've learned to him. So I feel like there's always
Yeah.
pressure in boxing. But I feel like there's a lot more pressure on a pair of us. But for me personally, as a personal goal, yeah, there is more pressure now, and
Mhm.
it's what I've learned in the past 3 weeks of training. Is to keep calm, just go with the flow. You don't overdo it, and just listen to the coach, and that's literally what I've been doing. And taking advice on, I think taking advice on from professionals who've lost world champion
Yeah,
belts, they've lost, and they're like, listen, that's boxing. It could take one punch. It could be one punch that finishes it all. Like it's you
true.
just got to go in there and grind it out.
Yeah. Do you see this fight as an opportunity to make a big statement in the whole cruiserweight division?
Yeah. So obviously there's not obviously the cruiserweight tournament happened. So
Mhm.
I don't know what's happened now. I don't know. It was a good setup for the tournament, but I think for me personally, I wanted to fight maybe light heavyweight, come down in weight. So
Okay.
I was training to hit 79 kilo. So that's what I was
Mhm.
training to come down, so I could be kind of powerful still in the higher end, and because cruiserweight they come from down from heavyweight, and there's some big boys in there. So
Yeah.
but listen, I make a statement in the cruiserweight division. Because it's at 83 kilos, so it's 185 pounds. So it's like a nice weight for me. Like I'm comfortable with this weight. But if I could drop another 3.5 kilos, that I think I'd be my fighting weight. But listen,
Amazing.
it's for me to take over. Whether it's a statement, I don't know. I don't care if it's a statement. I just want to win. As soon as I get the win, go back, reset, have a little break, and then go right. What's on the end of the year or middle of the year, whatever.
Amazing, man. And now I do want to talk about your opponent, Will Anderson. What do you make of him as an opponent for you?
As an opponent, he's very similar to Mike. You know, tall,
Hmm.
skinny. Um, you know, he's had one fight as well. He's been in the same experience with me, so he's been in front of cameras. Um, he's just tall, and when I watched him on his fight, he looked like an arm puncher. There was not very, you know, he got freestanding count, I think, within 2 rounds. So, you know, it's
Yeah.
obviously that Jordan Banjo had a fight. He was a big fella, like he's a big lad, and you know, he probably hits like thunder. And that heavyweight division is some big hitters, and it's not, I would definitely not want to be in that weight. But if he's come down into my weight, about 83 kilo, then he's coming down to my weight. So
Yeah.
might play an advantage. I don't know, but all I know is I've been training hard. I'm more aggressive. You know, the dog's in me at the minute, and I feel like a different fighter than last time. I feel just everything is just flowing. We're training, we're sparring bigger lads now, and I'm sparring tomorrow morning a 6'5" giant, and he's heavy, he's 100 kilo. But it's just to get the feel of a taller bloke and someone who's going to hit like hard. So you know, it depends. Like you know, with boxing, it's all about your mobility, the
Yeah.
twisting. You know, how you distribute your weight from leg to leg and shoulder to shoulder. And with me, as I'm a shorter lad, I can do that. So you know, who knows? Who knows what's going to happen? But you know, he seems like a nice bloke, but we're not here to be nice to each other. Like I'm not here to be nice to him. You know, I'll shake his hand after the fight. But at the minute, I'm tunnel vision, and I'm in the gym with the boys, and you know, they're all in the same mindset because a lot of these lads are in camp as well. So they're in the
Mhm.
same mindset, and you kind of all this aggression it just builds up inside you. So you know, I feel good. I feel good. But he seems like a
Amazing.
nice bloke. But yeah, I'm not here to be nice to him. I'm gonna hurt him.
Okay. And what did you think of his fight against Jordan Banjo?
I was there. I was actually there in Derby watching it.
Mhm.
Listen, hats off to anyone that gets in the ring. You know, hats off to get anyone who gets in that ring. Hats off to them. Respect, yeah.
Yeah.
But like, from what I can remember, like I say, he was an arm puncher. It was very straight arms. There was no movement, no movement in the legs. Whether he gassed out pretty quick. You know, it takes that out of you when you got someone who's bigger than you, leaning on you, punching you. That mentally drains you. Like that does
Yeah.
drain you. And I think it was maybe the second round he got stopped, and you know it was a shootout. But obviously
Mhm.
Jordan Banjo's about a foot taller than me and about 3 stone heavier than
Yeah.
me. You know, so someone like me who's a lot shorter and still got the weight there, but you know the power comes from the legs. And the good thing in my in my what's the word, in my advantage, shall I say, is I've got
Mhm.
very strong big legs, and the power comes from the legs. So you know,
Yeah.
just the way I think of Mike Tyson, just dip, bam, bam, just move them legs.
Yeah, of course. And as you also mentioned earlier, Will Anderson is coming down weight to fight you. Do you expect him to be more aggressive and hungrier in this fight?
Definitely. Listen, we both had a loss, so we
Mhm.
both got we both got to prove something, you know. So I feel like there might be a fire in his belly. He wants to make a statement. He loves his boxing as well, same as me. So we both only thinking on winning. So you know, there is a lot of pressure on us, but I think yeah, he's going to come out. He's going to be fitter because he's lighter.
Mhm.
But boxing fit and fitter is very different. You know, it's
Yeah.
you know, fighting fit and being fit is a lot different. So whether he's fighting fit, I don't know. Whether he's had a longer camp than me, I don't know. I've had literally 2.5 weeks to get into a camp, and that's it. Whereas he might have had the phone call 6 weeks ago, 8 weeks ago. I don't know. But for me, I've had a 2.5 week camp, and that's is what it is.
Yeah. And what do you think is your biggest advantage in this fight?
Biggest advantage. I'd probably say the dog in me. Like I'm
Mhm.
like if you do watch back at some of the clips from my fight and Mike's, there's the
Yeah.
dog in me. You know, the spite. You know, I bite down on my gum shield and I'll have it out of you. Whereas I don't
Mhm.
think he's got that. I don't got that. I don't think he's got the bite in him. I don't think he's got that power in him. I don't think he's. I
No?
just I just don't think he has. Nah, I don't know. I don't think he's got the power. You know, the spite in him. I don't know. I know I've seen him.
Mhm.
Listen, I've seen him on the bag. I've seen him on the pads. I was there watching the fight. I showed some of the boys in camp him on the bag, and you know I'm not going to say what they said, but listen, it's when they're following me and they feel the power and they go bloody hell, mate, you got some power behind you. You got some
Yeah.
power from you know for the weight category I'm in. Like a cruiserweight is some big boys in there. The majority of them are 6 foot, 6'2" and above. So me being one of the short fighters, like DTG, he's a short fighter, but he's got some power as well.
Yeah,
So
true.
we're kind of the only ones in that cruiserweight division who's the short ones, but it shows a bit of balls in there, to have a
Of
fight with
course.
someone who's fucking 6'7".
Yeah, of course. And now I do want to talk about the rest of the Misfits Duel 2 card. So Misfits Duel 2 is headlined by Ty Mitchell versus Gabe Rosado. What are your thoughts on the overall card?
Yeah, it's a good card to be fair. I thought there'd be more fights to be fair. I thought there was going to be maybe 2 or 3 more added.
Mhm.
It's a bit of a smaller card, but it's a great card. Ty Mitchell in his hometown. I think he's going to win. I feel like he might. I feel like he might win on points, like his last fight against
Yeah.
isn't
Sean
it? The
Hemphill, right?
American guy. That's it. He won on points, so I think it's going to be close. But I think Ty might just edge it on points. But the fellow he's fighting, he's good. He's a good
Yeah,
fighter. So
exactly.
it'd be good. So and then obviously the heavyweight one, Jordan against is it?
Tempo Arts.
Who's it? Jordan Temple
Yeah,
Arts. That'd be a good
exactly.
one. Some heavy hitters. There's some heavy hitters. That'd be a good one. Obviously, Jade, she's still so. There's some good fights on there. Yeah, I'm excited. To be fair, I'm excited. It's just it's just a privilege to be on a card with some big names on. It's boxing at the end of the day, and I
Yeah, of
respect
course.
anyone who's on that card who steps the ring.
Of course. What do you think is the fight that excites you the most of this card, besides yours?
I would probably say the Ty Mitchell one.
Mhm.
I think that's going to be a good fight. I've learned a lot more about boxing. I feel like it's going to be like a chess match. You can learn, you can pick up things. But I think for entertainment, I think Carla Jade one will be a good fight, and I think Jordan Banjo will be a good fight with Temple Wars because they're heavy lads, they're big lads. So I
Yeah,
feel like one of them's getting dropped.
amazing, man. And now, if you win this fight in Derby, what is next for you, boxing wise?
Well, I wanted to fight Joey Essex. I feel like when I put a statement out for me and Joey Essex to fight, my DMs were just going crazy. The comments, people were messaging me, like tweeting me, and that, and like I feel like that'd be a good fight. I come down in weight, and I think me and Joey would be a good fight. I messaged him. He's seen the messages. He's seen my mates' messages, and listen, respect to him. He's training, but I feel like me and Joey could put on a bit of a good show because last fight against is it
Yeah, uh,
Numero?
numero.
That was good.
Yeah,
Numero, that's it, Numero. So, it was an entertainment fight. They both left everything. They left everything in that ring, and hats off to them. It was an entertainment fight. But I feel like me and Joey would be quite exciting. Wherever he taken, I don't know. But whoever Mam says, really. But I think from the hype that we kind of built, I feel like me and Joey could be a good fight. But listen, it's down to him at the end of the day. If he wants it, I'll be there for him. If he don't, no worries. I'll go on to the next.
yeah. And are there maybe any other names that you have on your hit list?
Um, I mean, to me, I was looking at coming down in weight. Like I said, I was looking to come into the light heavyweight. So
Mhm.
maybe someone in there. I'm not too sure. But all I really thought about was the Joey fight, and then got a phone call from Mams, and it was to fight Will. So I said, look, all right, no worries. I'll deal with Will first, and then whoever next. So at a minute,
Sounds
nah, I'm
good.
not thinking of anyone else. Just purely Will, and then hopefully Joey. But if that don't happen, then whatever Mam's discussed. To be fair, whatever
Mhm.
Mam says, do you want to fight this person? Yeah, all right.
Yeah. And now, what is your final message to Will Anderson ahead of this fight?
Will Anderson, you watch this, mate? All the best, but listen, I'm gonna punch your head in. You're gonna feel this power, and I'm gonna put a jab straight through that rib of yours. That's all I'm gonna say.
Amazing, man. And now, finally, finish this sentence for me. On March 7th, people are going to realize that Jay Cornish is
On March 7th, people are gonna realise that Jake Cornish is back, and he's back for a long time.
amazing, man. Thank you so much for this. I hope you guys enjoyed and see you all next time. See you.